Greetings YouTubers, and welcome back to a Toddy Walnuts update video. And it's been a while since I did an update showcase of some of the new things that I picked up, but I do have a few things. It's not a huge update video, but I do have them kind of categorized because I have multiple editions of the same movie. These were upgraded, so yeah, we're just gonna go through and show you guys what I picked up. I got a couple of figures. I got some Scream Factory, some Arrow, some 4K upgrades, and some DVDs. A little bit of everything in this video. The girls are here. You can see Heidi's wearing her sweater. It's been really cold here in the great state of Wisconsin. Hannah doesn't like sweaters, so she prefers to be out there au naturel, and they're doing really good. Everything's fine here at the Walnuts compound. If you're interested in seeing my new pickups, please do stick around. Get yourselves relaxed, get a beverage and a snack, and let's check out these cool movies. So as per usual, I don't have a script or even a plan. I just put everything on the bed and we wing it. We just freestyle. So I don't have any rhyme or reason for why I'm showing things first, and we're just going to go with John Carpenter's Vampires. This is the upgrade. This is the 4K Blu-ray from Scream Factory. And this is a pretty decent movie. It's not one that I love, but I think over time it has grown on me a little bit more. I do like James Woods' character in the movie. You get disc 1 is the 4K HD of the movie, and disc 2 is a Blu-ray. And the movie came out in 1998. And this was the upgrade to the previous title that I owned from Twilight Time. This was the Blu-ray. Never owned it on DVD, never owned it on VHS. This was the Twilight Time release. These were limited to, I think this had usually they're 3,000, but this one had a higher run of 5,000 units, just because they knew it was going to be a better seller. So I'm going to pause it. We'll take the plastic off. Actually, the plastic is off. It's in one of these bags, so I'll be right back. I guess there's not really much more to show because some of the 4Ks that Scream Factory released didn't have a reversible cover. So here you get just the regular run-of-the-mill Scream Factory slipcover. And then this is the 4K black case, and it just shows the Blu-ray and the 4K. The cover is not reversible, so there's not a whole lot more to show, but this is a really nice addition. And that is John Carpenter's Vampires from 1998. Okay, so the next one is a movie that I have never owned in my collection until now. So this is not an upgrade, it's a first-time entry into my collection, and this is John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars 4K Blu-ray. I should have mentioned, too, that for Vampires and Ghosts of Mars and a couple other ones that I will be showing, these were Black Friday deals on Amazon, and they were $15 each. So I'll point the other ones out as we get to them. This was one that was $15 on Black Friday on Amazon. It may still be going for that price because I think they were extending it beyond Black Friday, maybe like a Christmas deal. So you may want to go check out Amazon, and you'll be able to see if it's at the sale price still. But I want to give you guys a heads up. If you look at the photo carefully on Amazon, if it shows the gray border on the slipcover, that means they still have the slipcover available. But if you're not paying attention, if it just shows the black plastic case, that means they are no longer slipcovers. So you may want to consider that before. If you don't care about slipcovers, just go get the price, get it. But if you do care about slipcovers and you see that black case only, that means there are no slipcovers available. It's just a little tip from me to you, because I get a little bit weird when I don't get my slipcovers. But so anyway, Ghosts of Mars, John Carpenter. This was not a great movie. It was still decent. I think what turned me off the most about this movie was Ice Cube's character. He kind of played the Boys in the Hood gangster type role in this movie, and it just, that kind of role doesn't do anything for me. Jason Statham was in here. He's a very young actor in this movie. Natasha Henstridge was gorgeous as always, and Pam Grier was in here as well. And I think she was the captain of the ship, right? I can't remember what they called her. She preferred females in this movie, if you know what I mean. And that's not to be offensive to anybody, and I'm just pointing out that's what she was. So she was always flirting with women and trying to get with the women in the movie. But I do love Pam Grier. She's great. Natasha Henstridge was great. I thought some of the practical effects with the monsters were okay. And Ice Cube's character, I do like Ice Cube. I like his comedy roles. I just don't, I don't buy him as a tough guy, as a villain. So, but it's in my collection now. So the next one I picked up on eBay for $10. New. It's still new. It's still sealed. And this is called Caltiki, the Immortal Monster. Now, this was an Italian Blob ripoff. The original The Blob with Steve McQueen came out in 1958, and it had some success as a drive-in style movie. This movie came out 1 year later. This is an Italian take on the Blob take of the Blob monster type movie. And let's see. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo. It's region A. This is made in Austria. But there are the special features. This was released by Arrow Video in 2017. It's been out for quite some time. I meant to get it a long time ago, but I'm not disappointed that I waited because it was like under $10. So I'm gonna pause it. We're gonna peel the plastic off and take a look inside. This is a pretty cool edition, and it's a pretty nice set, I think, for under $10. It's a film by Riccardo Freda and Mario Bava. Like I said, it came out in 1959. That's the cover that Arrow came up with, the commissioned art. On the inside, you get 2 discs. One's on a swing tray. Let me see if I can pull this out without... So on the back of this one, I don't know what movie that is. I'll have to look that up really quick because I have no idea what that is. But here is the Blu-ray and the DVD. And then here's the reverse cover. That is the Italian title. I'm pretty happy to have this. There's a couple of some of these older style releases I'm still looking for. Another one that I want to get is called Annihilators. I think that one's like around $10 too. So let me pause it. I'll tell you what this movie is and we'll move on. So that is The Strange World of Coffin Joe from 1968. That's a pretty cool little card. I like that. And that is Caltiki, the Immortal Monster from 1959. I upgraded Pumpkinhead to 4K. This was another one that was $15 on Amazon. You might want to check it and see if it's still going for that. Sometimes they even go down a little bit lower than that. So if you're looking for any of these upgrades on Amazon, just put them on your wish list and keep checking them. I have a list, and I check my list every day. And my list grows. It's a hobby, man. It's fun. But this is the 4K Blu-ray Collector's Edition from Scream Factory. Love the movie, love the character, love Lance Henriksen. This is a great, fun popcorn movie. You can see all the special features there. This movie came out in 1988. And I'll show you some of the previous releases I have of this movie. This is also from Scream Factory. This was the Collector's Edition Blu-ray. That's a really great cover. Kind of a witchcraft monster movie. Really, really fun. And I also have Steelbook. This is a Scream Factory Steelbook. Apparently it was a Best Buy exclusive, although they were selling this on Amazon as well later. That's really, really nice. And this was the 4K Steelbook, and this here was the Blu-ray Steelbook, also from Scream Factory. So all 4 of these editions are from Scream Factory. This is a Blu-ray 4K and Blu-ray 4K. Glad to have those. Love the movie. The next one is another 4K upgrade. This is from Arrow Video, Larry Cohen's The Stuff. I just rewatched this again the other night. It looks really good on 4K. But this is one of my favorite horror comedies from the 80s. And this, when I watch this, it kind of takes me back. There are still a few movies that do that. Tom Hanks' The Burbs is one. Night of the Comet is another one. These are 80s horror comedy movies that kind of take me back to my childhood. And when I watch this, it really literally takes me back. It feels good. I think this may be one of Michael Moriarty's best roles, in my opinion. And it's just a really wacky Larry Cohen movie. I don't have to probably tell you about this, but they find a white substance that's coming from the ground, and they taste it, and it's delicious, and they sell it as like a, it almost looks like a yogurt in the movie, but it's, I think it's supposed to be like an ice cream or some kind of like a whipped topping type dessert. And the people who eat it start to turn into kind of mindless monsters. And I really recommend this. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely a fun watch. And that cover looks really nice. I really enjoyed Michael Moriarty's character in this one. He's a very versatile actor. You can see that it's a 2-disc set. And just look at all the bonus features there. It's really, really nice. I didn't dive into the bonus features yet, but this is a limited edition exclusive. It's a pre-release version Blu-ray. And it looks like it says an early pre-release cut of the film featuring over 30 minutes of additional footage with a different music score. So I have to check that one out. I haven't watched that version of it yet. But there's the alternate cover. This is a really, really nice piece. I had to get this. It comes with a booklet and a little 4K sticker. And there's a swing tray. One of the 4K is still in my player. And then here's the disc 2. This is the pre-release version, which I have not watched yet. And I do look forward to checking that out. And then the inside cover is the exact as the slip cover, so I don't have to pull that out. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't watched The Stuff, do check it out. Let's flip through the book really quick. I think you'll enjoy it. If you go into it realizing it's just a stupid, mindless horror movie, comedy, you don't have to do a lot of thinking. It's just ridiculousness, and it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's really cool. Paul Sorvino was in there too. And Danny Aiello was in here as well. He wasn't in there very long. He was only in one scene, a scene and a half. And I'm sure if you remember the movie that you know what happens to Danny Aiello, but he was great. So that is The Stuff 4K. And here was the previous release I had of it from Arrow Video. This was the Blu-ray DVD. Another really cool edition. This was one of their earlier releases. 2014 this came out. The movie came out in 1996. Is that right? I was thinking this was from the 80s, but it says 1996 down there. Let me double check that really quick. I knew I was right on this one. 1985 this came out. I don't know why it says 1996 down there, but I knew that wasn't right because I remember watching this in the 80s. But there it is. That was the previous release, the Blu-ray DVD, and then that's the 4K upgrade. Here's another one I got on Amazon, Black Friday for 15 bucks. This is Humanoids from the Deep. This is the 4K upgrade. You get the 4K and the Blu-ray. Previous to this, I only had the DVD, and then I had a, did I have steel? I did, hold on. I had a steel book as well. Yeah, I do have a steel book. So this is the 4K. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray, and you get bonus features, interviews with Roger Corman, etc. This is another movie from the 80s. 1980, exactly, according to this. And I'm glad to upgrade this. Here was the previous DVD release that I have, the Roger Corman Classic. See the monster in a rubber suit. Even the DVD had some decent bonus features. This was put out by Shout Factory. I'm trying to find a year that Shout Factory released it, but it doesn't say. At least not that I can see, and I'm going to keep moving. It says, for the first time on home video, the complete uncut version of the cult classic. I know this was an anamorphic widescreen, so they stretched it out from full frame to widescreen. Looks pretty good, but I'm glad to have the 4K upgrade. And then I also had the Steelbook from Scream Factory. Pretty nice Steelbook. Fun monster movie. Drive-in style creature feature flick. Here's another one I got for $15 on Amazon, Black Friday. This is the 4K upgrade of Silver Bullet, starring Corey Haim. It's a Stephen King adaptation. It started in May in a small town, and every month after that, whenever the moon was full, it came back. It's a pretty decent werewolf flick. You can see a young Corey Haim. Disc 1 is the 4K, and Disc 2 is the Blu-ray. There's a lot of special features. Gary Busey is also in here. Based on the book Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King. And this movie came out in 1985. And previous to this release, I had the Blu-ray collector's edition, which looks really good too. So that is Silver Bullets from 1985. This one was not part of the $15 Black Friday sale. I think this was around 30 bucks, and this is the 4K upgrade of Deathstalker and Deathstalker 2 double feature collector's edition. Really low budget sword and sorcery movies. They're not very good, but they're still fun. And I enjoy these kind of movies, so I buy these. It's a 4-disc set. You get 2 4K and 2 Blu-ray. The movies came out in 1983 and 1987. And then previous to this release, I had the regular Blu-ray double feature. This one went out of print. It sold out pretty quick, and it was for a long time going for a pretty high price on eBay and other secondary markets. But I think since this came out, this has dropped a little bit. But if you're going to get it, you may as well get the 4-disc set. Let me see if it says when this was put out by Scream Factory. No, it doesn't say. But I am glad to have this, even though I don't think these movies are all that great. They're still middle-of-the-road fun. This was an eBay purchase, and it was not a Black Friday deal. It was just a regular eBay sale. I think I paid, with shipping, like 40 bucks for this. This is Life Force, the 4K from Arrow Video. Comes with this nice slipcover. And I don't know what they put on these slipcovers. It's like some kind of a coating. It almost feels like it has kind of a rubber, like a thin rubber coating. I don't even know really how to describe that. But this is a really cool movie. and that's a great slipcover. This is a Tobe Hooper movie, and it's a 2-disc set. The movie came out in 1985, and disc 1 on 4K, you get the international cut, and disc 2 is also a 4K, you get the theatrical cut. And the difference in length between the two, the international cut is 116 minutes, the theatrical is 101 minutes, so that's pretty significant. It's 15 minutes shorter. So if you're going to watch it, you may as well watch the international cut, and it does have some nice bonus features there, like they always do. And I love that slipcover. It's really cool. And here's the alternate cover. This was the original artwork that you may have seen on like VHS rentals. There's the international and the theatrical. And this advertising art card, I don't know what that one is either. And you get a little booklet inside. That was also an original cover. That was on the poster art, I think. There's Matilda May, who is the star actress in this movie. She's gorgeous. She looks like Alyssa Milano a little bit in that photo. Cast and crew. Space vampires. Tons of write-ups. Really cool stuff. Really, really glad to have this one. So this was the 4K upgrade from Arrow. Now let me show you some of the other editions that I have. This is another gorgeous cover. This was also put up by Arrow Video. I think this is one of my favorite Arrow Video releases of all time. Just look at that cover. That's awesome. In the blink of an eye, terror begins. Look at that, man. That's really cool. I love the pinks and the purples against the black. It just looks really, really good. And look at all the bonus features on this one. That is really, really cool. Now this one has 2 different cuts of the movie as well, but this one has the director's approved and I think the theatrical, so it's 106 minutes and 101 minutes. So that's even a third cut of the movie at 106, because the other one was 116, unless that's a typo. I'm not sure, but you can see that there. But if you want to pause, you can read the bonus features in there. And it came with a poster, I think, and a booklet, but I'm not going to open that up. I just wanted to show a couple more editions that I have of Life Force. And this one is the 4K Blu-ray edition from Scream Factory that I had already. That's one of the original poster art images there. This one's a 3-disc set. You get the 4K and 2 Blu-rays. So this one's saying you get the 101 theatrical cut, 116 director's cut. So this one is very, very, very similar to Arrow, if not identical. And this was the release before the 4K. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo with that beautiful slipcover. I think that's awesome. You can see Matilda May, Steve Railsback. That's a great cover. There's a lot going on here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Not as much bonus features. And here was the Arrow Video Steelbook. I still need to get the Scream Factory Steelbook. It's on my list, I just haven't been in a rush to get it. It's not as cool as this one. It has a different kind of almost kind of cartoonish artwork with two characters' faces touching, if you remember. Maybe some of you own it already, or you've seen it. But this is the original cover. That looks really, really good. That is awesome. A little quick recap. There's the Arrow Video Steelbook, Scream Factory Blu-ray DVD combo, Scream Factory 4K Blu-ray combo, Arrow Video Blu-ray. I think it's a Blu-ray DVD. It's Blu-ray. And then here's the Arrow Video 4K. Really, really glad to have these, all of these. Next is from Vinegar Syndrome. This is called the Resurrected. And I don't remember what this was limited to. Usually I'm on that right away and I put a little sticker, but I think it was 3,000. It could have been a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of guessing. But this was with Chris Sarandon. I'm going to open this up and show you the inside. So this slip is really nice. It's the double thick like they always have. And they have kind of a spot glossing on there, you can see, or maybe you can't, but the font there for the Resurrected has kind of a gloss to it. And then this is the reversible cover, or you can also have that cover if you want to. And it's a Blu-ray 4K. So this is the Blu-ray, and this is the ultra high def 4K. Really glad to have this. I know it was selling fast. I don't know if it's sold out or not, but I'm really glad to have that. And I went a little bit too quick. I didn't really tell you much more about it, but the movie came out in 1991. You can see all the bonus features there. 105-minute feature. And previous to this release, I had the Scream Factory Blu-ray. This was issued without a slipcover. There's some bonus features there. And I'm really glad to have both of these. If you're interested in this, I know they're having partners only month for Vinegar Syndrome, but you may want to check on this, make sure that it's not sold out when they do come back, or start looking on eBay now before people realize it's sold out, and then they'll double the price or more. This was also a Black Friday sale on Amazon. This is the Wreck collection that was put out by Scream Factory. This is the box set. There you can see the Scream Factory Blu-ray logo. It's a 4-disc set. We're going to open it here in a moment. But you get all of the Wreck movies. You get Wreck 1 and 2, and then part 3 is called Genesis, and part 4 is called Apocalypse. And I'm embarrassed to say I have never seen any of these, but I have heard good things about at least the first one. I believe the first one is, I think they're all Spanish directed movies, right? But I think, is it Spanish or is it? Spanish. I think the first one in this box set is the only one that has an English dub. The other 3 you have to watch with subtitles. And there's really not much in the way of special features, but I don't care. I just wanted the box set of these, and I can check these out. Found footage type movies. I'm going to peel the plastic off and we'll look inside. I think I paid $20 for this whole box set, which I thought was a steal to get all 4 movies in this box. Comes in a really nice, kind of a sturdy, hard outer shell. A really nice design. I like it. I know this has been out for a while. I had planned to pick it up, but I saw it for $20 and I grabbed it. So it looks like we're going to be going backwards. So here's part 4. If you want to comment on any of these, you can feel free to do so. Just don't give any spoilers, please. And then here's part 3. Looks like part 3 came out in 2012 and part 4 came out in 2014. Haven't seen any of these movies. Here's Rec 2. This one came out in 2009. And here's the one that people seem to like the most, I think. Or at least that's what it seems like I hear anyway. People say really good things about this one. Came out in 2007. So that was the Rec box set from Scream Factory. And this was a $20 purchase on Amazon. The next one is a box set from Arrow Video. This is the 4K edition of The Return of the Living Dead. It's another horror comedy from the 80s that I really like to revisit and kind of revisit my childhood. So this is a 2-disc set. Disc 1 is the 4K, and you get a bunch of bonus features there you can see. And disc 2 is More Brains, the limited edition exclusive Blu-ray. And we're going to open this up and check it out. So there is an outer slipcover. It's pretty thin, just kind of like your regular slipcover thickness. And then inside that you get kind of this matte finish box, kind of a dry feel to it. And it's kind of a sturdy box. Kind of has a kind of a dry feel. And here's the keep case. Disc 1 is the feature 4K, and disc 2 is the Blu-ray More Brains. And there's a advertising card for 3 Extremes. I'm not familiar with that. And there is a reversible cover, which I will pause it and pull it out because I am going to switch that. That's the original OG cover. There, that looks great. That is the original cover. I love that. It looks really good against that black case. And then you get a pretty thick booklet, probably 25, 30 pages, actually 40 pages. Looks like there's a comic book on the inside there. And some write-ups and some photos, really cool. And then there's a double-sided poster, and basically I don't really have to pull that out because on one side you get that image, the newly commissioned art, and then I'm assuming on the back side you get the OG. Let's see. Yeah, you do. So you get that one. So that is the Arrow Video box set for The Return of the Living Dead, and I'll show you some of the previous releases I had. This first one is from Scream Factory. This is the 4K Blu-ray edition with the original cover. Movie came out in 1984. You can see the bonus features there. It's a 3-disc set. You get a 4K disc and 2 Blu-ray discs. And previous to this release from Scream Factory, they had a couple of Blu-ray collector's editions. This was the original cover, and this was their original commissioned art cover, and this was the alternate. So you can see some of the characters from the movies. I think they both have the same back. Nope, even the backs are different. And I have a Scream Factory 4K Steelbook for The Return of the Living Dead. That's a really beautiful steelbook. And here is a steelbook that I bought at Walmart a couple of years ago for the Return of the Living Dead. This was put out by MGM, I think. Oh, 20th Century Fox. The steelbook is from 2018. So these were my editions. I do have some other editions too on DVD, but I just pulled these out for this video. So the 20th Century Fox steelbook, Scream Factory 4K steelbook. These are Scream Factory Blu-ray collector's editions. These are both the same exact movie, just different covers. The 4K upgrade from Scream Factory and the 4K box set from Arrow Video. These are really cool. Glad to have these. The next one is from a company called Radiance, and this is another excellent space vampire movie from Mario Bava. This is called Planet of the Vampires. And this was limited to 5,000. We're going to take it out of the plastic and we're going to take a look at it. I don't believe these are individually numbered, but this is a movie from 1965. There's two different cuts of it. One is just 1 minute shorter, 89 and 88. You can watch it in Italian and English language. And these are the Blu-ray limited edition special features. You get a 4K scan and a documentary and all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm going to pause it here. We're going to take the plastic off and dive inside. So again, here's that little kind of, I don't know, partial sleeve. I don't like these. I don't know why they do them like this, but I don't want to throw this away just because it has the limited edition 5,000 copies, and I won't remember that, so I'm going to have to keep this as a reminder to myself. And if anybody is wondering, this is spine number 53 in the Radiance catalog, which it's a company that I'm familiar with, but I don't have a lot of their stuff, but they're really good from, you know, the things that I do have. Look at this beautiful, gorgeous cover. That powdered blue against the black. Look at that. That's beautiful. And it's a nice sturdy box. And here's the keep case. Man, this is nice. I love that. They call the covers that don't have any writing on it other than the logo, those are called virgin covers, and it just shows a scene from the movie. But they do have print on the spine. And you get the disc on Blu-ray. And there's the interior reversible cover in Spanish. That is beautiful. And then you get a package of art cards. I guess we'll go through those. And you get a poster. And I'll flip that open in a minute. And on the inside, we already looked at the reverse cover, but this is where they have all the information. So I may as well flip that just so we can have the info on the back and put that on the inside. But you can see there, if you want to take your time and pause it so you can read it a little bit slower, take your time. I'm just going to keep moving though. That's a lot of really good stuff. There's a 20-page book, which we will go through. I'm going to pause it really quick, put the disc back and flip that cover, and then we'll go through the book. I'll take out the poster and we'll look at the art cards. So this is not a poster, it's a small booklet. It looks like it's a story. It says 1 night of 21 hours. Mario Bava's 1965 film Planet of the Vampires was based on this short story, translated from the Italian by Francesca Coppola. Wow, that's cool that they threw that in. A little piece of film history. That's really cool. And And this is a pretty thick book. Looks like it's got some kind of sticky goo on there. I don't know what that was. This was sealed when I opened it, so it wasn't goo for me. It's not walnuts goo. So this is a 75-page book. Wow. This is a beautiful box set. You can tell that Mario Bava was a huge influence on a lot of directors, particularly Argento, who used a lot of pastels and shadows and darkness and bright lights, and it's almost like a work of art. It's just beautiful. Look at that. This is one of my favorite movies. I have the original movie poster of this. If I remember, I'll pull it out at the end. And then I'm going to pause it so we can open up these art cards, and then I'll show you some of the other editions of Planet of the Vampires that I have. So there's the original poster art, and that's the poster I have. There's nothing on the back of any of these, so... That looks like the cover from Creepazoids. There's the Italian title. And I did flip the cover in case anybody was wondering. That's what it looks like. It looks really, really good. That's beautiful. And there's the art card for that. These are all really nice. So that was Mario Bava's 1965 sci-fi horror space vampire movie called Planet of the Vampires, put out by Radiance. And prior to this, I had a couple other editions. I had the Scorpion Releasing Blu-ray. And a few years later, they came out with the Kino Lorber Blu-ray that had this nice slipcover that has the original Italian cover with the English title. And I had the DVD that was put out by Midnight Movies. I've had this for many, many years. I actually have 2 copies of these because I bought one years ago, and then I think I found one at a thrift shop or something for like $1, and I bought it. I'll always do that. I'll always buy movies for $1, even if I have them already. So that's my little Planet of the Vampires collection. I'm really glad to have all of these, and this set is beautiful. This is a little pricey now. It's out of print. It was limited to 5,000. It's sold out. So if you do buy it now, you'll have to buy it on a secondary market, and it's pretty expensive. So I got some cheapy DVDs at Walmart for the season. I've been on a Peanuts kick lately, and this one's called Snow Days, Happiness is Peanuts, All New Collection DVD. This came in a black case, and it was really flimsy. It was one of those cutout ones with pieces of plastic missing. I put it in a nice solid white case. It just has a better feel to it. Not really much to say about these. It's just childhood nostalgia, and I love Christmas cartoons and specials. The next 2 are the same exact collection, just one was a different slipcover. I bought both of these at Walmart, and one was a special holiday release, which I think was this one, was a limited holiday release, and this is what it normally looks like. I bought them both. I think they were like $5 a piece for a Scooby-Doo holiday collection. I collect Scooby-Doo stuff, so it's over 5 hours of content for like $5. I could not pass it up. And even though this was the special edition release of it, I think this is way better just because it's more colorful. Look at that. Same exact series. Everything's exactly the same other than the color of the slipcover. And another one that I bought really cheaply. I have this already on Blu-ray in a Blu-ray steelbook, but I wanted to pick up the extended cut DVD with a slipcover. This was pretty cheap. I think it was like 10 bucks at Walmart because I still do collect DVDs. So these were my little Walmart pickups that I recently got. And I bought the last drive-in double feature. This was a Walmart purchase. I think I got this for like, I think it was like $12 with this really nice slipcover. It's a Shudder original, and it's a double feature drive-in hosted by Joe Bob Briggs. And the two movies that you get in this set are Suitable Flesh and Mayhem. And this was the first one that I picked up, and I got this about a month ago, I think, at a Walmart. And then during Black Friday, they were selling the Blu-ray for $8. So I got the Blu-ray with the slipcover cheaper than I bought the DVD. So I had to get it. Same exact movies, just a Blu-ray with the slipcover. I haven't watched the movies yet, but I do enjoy Joe Bob Briggs, and I look forward to kind of hanging out with him and watching a double feature at some point. I also picked up two figures recently, and the first one here is called An American Werewolf in London Ultimate Nightmare Demons. This comes with a lenticular cover. It doesn't really do anything other than to kind of show 3D depth, but you can see the sticker that they had. I also picked this up at a Walmart. They put on there was $34.96, crossed it off and put $24.97, and I'm actually going to keep that sticker just because I like it. And I love this movie. This is a great movie from my childhood, and I just have so many good memories watching. This movie scared me when I was a little kid. Looking back now, it's hilarious, but when I was a kid, it really freaked me out. But you can see some of the poses for these. I got this guy here. Well, actually, it looks like you can interchange them. You get all the heads. So if I can get in there without a glare, I guess that looks pretty decent. You can see some of the different heads that you can change with the same body. They all have the kind of that army fatigues. And then there's some accessories. You get a torch with a flame on it. Get some knives, one bloody, one not. Some interchangeable hands, some guns, and what is that in the background? It looks like it's kind of like a submachine gun or something. For $25, this is a really good deal for me, so I had to grab that. And I picked up this deluxe statue of Predator, put out by a company called Culture Fly. It says featuring acrylic background. Deluxe statue. Not really familiar with this company, but I really love the way that this thing looked. And it was priced really affordable. I think it was like $20. Looks like it contains a vinyl statue with acrylic background. It's supposed to look like a movie poster. And I really love the Predator. I think it's one of the coolest monsters ever made. Sci-fi horror monster. So that's it. I have one more thing to show you. I have a fan-made batch of Friday the 13th movie covers. We're going to go over those and then we'll wrap the video up. So I found this seller on Etsy, and he's a British fellow, and he created custom covers for the Friday the 13th franchise, even including some fictitious titles, which we will get to here. I'm just going to kind of pull from this pile. When I did order these from him, all that it came with was the slip. I had to provide my own cases. And these are British sized, so these are the thicker cases. I put them in thick red cases. I have a whole bunch of these. I have a whole bunch of extra DVD and Blu-ray cases of all different colors, so if I ever feel like changing them out or color coordinating, stuff like that, then I can easily do that. So I put these all in red, and I thought it looked great, because I also do have some of the thicker black ones, and I was going to do that as well. But there's a lot of black cases out there now with 4K and all that, so I thought red would kind of pop with these. Let me know, because there's a lot of red themes on these covers, so I thought they looked pretty good. So here's the original Friday the 13th. There are no movies in here. This is just a fan-made kind of what if. I suppose I can always put the movies in there, but so that's one cover from part 1. I thought these were really cool. I had to grab them. I think they were $40 for the whole thing. And it, like I said, it just comes in an envelope with these paper covers. Here's part 2. I like how he made it look like you're looking out of the cabin at the different poster covers. I thought this was pretty clever, and I had to get it. Show some scenes from each movie. And part 3, 3D. What's the matter? She got her little sweater on. I know they're getting kind of bored. When we're done here, I gotta let them outside. Here's the final chapter. A New Beginning. Jason Lives. Older Tommy Jarvis. The New Blood. Jason Takes Manhattan. I know you can read, but it would be a bad video if I was just silent for several minutes, so just kind of stringing these along here. Jason Goes to Hell. Jason X. Freddy versus Jason. Part 12 with Derek Mears. And so these are unofficial movies, and I have never seen these before, but I kind of do want to watch them. I deliberately have not watched them because I don't feel like they're canon, like they're part of the franchise. But I am curious to see what people have done with this. And since we're not getting any new Jason movie anytime soon, maybe never again, maybe not in my lifetime, I don't know. Fingers crossed, but who knows what's going to happen. But this was a fan-made movie called Never Hike. I think there was Never Hike Alone and Never Hike Alone 2. I could be wrong about that. Maybe one of you can kind of set the record straight on that if you want to, but they're calling this the Never Hike Saga, so that I think there was more than one. I'm pretty sure there was at least 2, maybe 3. And then here's Crystal Lake, the series. Here's one called No Man's Land. Now this one, he told me that he was just kind of pretending that if there was ever part 13, which we will have next, that will be the next one in the line after the Derek Mears one was 12. He just put No Man's Land. So this has nothing to do with the franchise. It was just creativity on his part. I like it. There's Derek Mears right there. His name was Jason. That was a documentary, so you can actually put that in there if you want to. And Crystal Lake Memories, plus the bonus disc. There's Adrian King. So that was it. That was my latest haul. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's very possible that this may be my last video for 2025. So if that's the case, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a Happy New Year, be safe. I'll try to make another video before the year is over, but I can't guarantee it. That's why I'm saying all this stuff now. So thank you to everybody for another great year on YouTube. I enjoyed interacting with you. I look forward to talking to you again very soon. So thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.